In the dead of night, when most of Europe was lost in chaos and superstition, a young man in Baghdad sat under the glow of an oil lamp, translating the works of Aristotle into Arabic. Down the street, astronomers were mapping the stars, using math that wouldn't reach Europe for another 400 years. In another room, a doctor prepared a surgical tool, designed by a man who'd performed cataract surgery centuries before the invention of the microscope. This wasn't the future. It was the 9th century, and the heart of the world beat in the Islamic world. The Islamic Golden Age wasn't just a historical era, it was a civilizational explosion. From the 8th to the 13th centuries, across cities like Baghdad, Cordoba, Damascus, and Cairo, the Muslim world became the center of global knowledge. While Europe struggled in the aftermath of Rome's fall, the Islamic world built something extraordinary, a society that celebrated learning, valued science, and welcomed knowledge from every corner of the earth. It all began with a powerful idea. Knowledge is the lost property of the believer. Wherever he finds it, he is most deserving of it. Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. That quote wasn't just a saying, it became a policy and the foundation of a scientific revolution. Baghdad, 9th century. Under the rule of Caliph Harun al-Rashid and later his son al-Ma'mun, the Abbasid Caliphate established the Bayt al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom. It wasn't a palace, it was a think tank, a library, and a university all in one. Greek philosophy, Indian mathematics, Persian medicine, translated, preserved, and improved. Scholars of all backgrounds, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, worked side by side, debating, learning, and innovating. Let that sink in. A Muslim caliphate paid scholars to translate Greek and Roman texts that Christian Europe had discarded. It was here that Al-Khwarizmi invented algebra, from the Arabic word al-jabr. It was here that mathematics met astronomy and laid the groundwork for future sciences. And it was here that the seeds of the modern world were quietly planted. Imagine walking into a hospital 1,000 years ago, expecting incense and prayers. But instead, you see wards divided by disease, medical charts, and trained nurses. That was Baghdad's hospitals, among the first true medical institutions in history. One of the greatest minds in medicine was Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna. His book, The Canon of Medicine, remained the standard medical text in Europe for over 600 years. He diagnosed diseases like diabetes, meningitis, and even mental illness, centuries before Western doctors had similar understandings. And then there's Al-Razi, the father of surgery. He designed over 200 surgical tools, some of which are still in use today. Need more proof? He performed cataract surgery using a syringe over a millennium ago. Europe wouldn't catch up until the 18th century. Quick question, what's your phone number? Now imagine trying to dial it using Roman numerals. CCXLP 7L9. Yeah, not ideal. The numbers we use today, 1, 2, 3, 4, are called Arabic numerals, but they came from India and were refined and spread by Islamic scholars. Thanks to Al-Khwarizmi, Al-Biruni, and others, the Islamic world gave the West the tools to calculate, engineer, and build everything from bridges to rockets. Even the word algorithm? That comes from Al-Khwarizmi's name. Look up. Many of the stars you see tonight have Arabic names: Altair, Betelgeuse, Aldebaran. That's not by accident. Islamic astronomers, driven partly by religious needs, like calculating prayer times and the direction of Mecca, revolutionized the study of the night sky. They built observatories, created precise astrolabes, and challenged ancient Greek models of the cosmos. Al-Biruni measured the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy. Ibn al-Shatir, a 14th century astronomer, developed planetary models that looked strikingly similar to Copernicus's work, a century before Copernicus. Did Copernicus borrow these ideas? No one knows for sure, but the timeline raises eyebrows. While science flourished, so did art, poetry, and law. Poets like Rumi and Omar Khayyam still inspire readers across the globe. Arabic literature saw the birth of 1001 Nights, a collection of timeless tales like Aladdin and Sinbad. In law, scholars developed Sharia, a comprehensive legal system covering personal, civil, and economic matters. And perhaps most remarkably, many Islamic cities were places of religious tolerance. In Al-Andalus, Muslim Spain, Muslims, Jews, and Christians lived and studied together. Córdoba in the 10th century had streetlights, public baths, and a library with over 400,000 books, at a time when the largest library in Christian Europe had barely a few hundred. So what happened? By the 13th century, things began to unravel. Mongol invasions devastated cities like Baghdad. The House of Wisdom was destroyed in 1258. Its books were thrown into the Tigris River, turning its waters black with ink. Political fragmentation, economic decline, and internal conflicts slowed innovation. And soon, Europe's Renaissance, ironically built on many of these Islamic contributions, took the spotlight. The Islamic Golden Age faded into memory, its brilliance buried under layers of historical amnesia. But today, the legacy lives on. In every hospital, every classroom, every scientific paper, and every GPS satellite tracking the stars, echoes of the Islamic Golden Age whisper through time. This was an era when knowledge was sacred, when cultures connected instead of collided, and when the light of reason burned brightest in the East. Not just a golden age, a gift to the world.